Dearly, I just want to let you know you're my grandest and greatest of all friends. I know God sent you here as a guardian angel in the form of a corn, but the more I know you, the more I think you're a psychopath.
Yeah, that's the one. I think that's fine. Right.
It's the last pod of the year. This is the last pod of the year.
It is the last pod of the year, and I told Ryan that not only is it the last pod of the year, it's the pod before Christmas, and it's the pod before the New Year. So I thought what we should do, given all those circumstances, what we're really looking for is something kind of lighthearted, to kind of just bring in the year, round out the year. We can maybe talk about what we did and what our plans are. But what ended up happening is the Epstein files have been released, and and now we have to talk about Trump raping girls who committed suicide, and then Epstein
What?
possibly being tied to Mossad, which are all things we've all talked about already. But now we have some files to start backing up and documenting, and a little bit of these things that we think we knew already. Yeah, that's right. Some of this, I have to start with like how we can know this, because the files were super redacted, right? So you can't actually see the files, right? Like, this is what we've been talking about. It's what we predicted would happen. Then the files released, and it was like, yeah, duh, the thing we predicted. Obviously, that's why they didn't release them right away, even though Trump ran on releasing them. They put up this big show and then waited 12 months because now they had time to redact all the files. But somebody on TikTok discovered that if you took the redacted file and then like copied and pasted it, it would unredact itself.
It was photoshopped.
Yes. Yeah, well, kind of, yes. So the way they
put it on in a layer. They had the image, and then they.
Yes. So when you redact a document in the government, the black bars are physical black bars. Okay? But what they did was make them non-physical black bars. So what that means is, for anyone who even tried this, I'm just gonna I have the actual TikTok clip of this, and I looked into this and I thought, there's no fucking way. So Ryan, we talk about, there's so many different ways to set this up. We've talked about on the show so many times that the government knows exactly what they're doing. Okay. And I know a lot of people run around and talk about incompetence and how people are stupid. And, as we state, sometimes there is some of that. But by and large, the things that happen on purpose, not on accident. This, I think, is an example of actual stupid. I don't think this was planned. I think this is stupid. This is people being stupid. This is the TikTok clip of the person copying and pasting the redacted files.
Redaction. Let's just get rid of that. That is insane. This is what happens when you fire government.
Literally, it was a highlight, Control C, Control P, Control V. Is it Control V? It's Control V, isn't it? Control P is print. It's the most basic thing.
And for the record, I don't know what any of those are. Control V, Control P, Control C. I'm getting glared at because I don't know that. I don't care.
Well, a couple things. One, you don't work on an actual like computer regularly, right?
I have not touched a desktop in 10 years.
Okay, so everything has happened.
Last time I touched the laptop or desktop was like, whoa. I felt dated.
So everything you do is through your phone, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now I work on multiple computers every day.
Okay.
And so Control C on the keyboard is a shortcut to copy. and then after you've copied, Control V pastes it.
Control V. Why not Control P for paste?
Well, Control P prints. It prints things. You could do all these things without touching keyboard. It's a short key, so like instead of going up into the top left and hitting File and then arrowing down with your mouse and hitting Print,
so much time.
You just Control P and start. Yeah. It just starts printing. Like when you do a lot of things, those little microseconds add up. It saves you minutes. If you got to copy a lot of things, Ryan, super fun. Control A, select all. It copies all the.
Control A selects it all.
Yeah. Control A, Control C, Control V, Control P. You've just selected all, copied, pasted, and printed the whole file.
If I had a pussy, it'd be wet with all that computer language, Dave.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Just IT'd all over the VG. It's Control H, David.
If you're in an internet browser, it's history. And then you can clear cache and cookies, which is something
you can clear cache and cookies. Why?
Cache and cookies.
Why cache and cookies?
Sometimes they cause issues, Ryan. I'm just saying.
Like they got the herp on there.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a little antibiotics. Like if you're having
some antibiotics,
some issues, a very common thing IT will tell you is to clear cache and cookies. Try again, and it'll clear out all your like pre-saved blah bullshit.
So let me get this straight. They're telling you to clear out the stuff that was working, so that maybe.
But sometimes but sometimes it's not working.
I fucking hate computer. I can't wait to unplug the mother of all computers.
That's fair. So yes, this lady did something very basic. Quite frankly, I know Ryan, you're a phone guy, but she very simply copied and pasted the file, and it took the redaction out. Now, I say that to say this. Some of the redacted files are actually redacted, and then they were double redacted. I know. So there was a physical and an electronic redaction on the same file. I'm just saying.
Okay, hold on. So some of these documents
are physically blacked out.
Right. On the paper, they put a black marker through the paper.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And then like transcribed it digitally for us to access as a public, or if they give it out to Congress.
Sure.
Okay. So then there's also the digital ones, which they were not done that way. They were just literally like basically you highlighted on
Microsoft Word
or graphic design. What's the Apple thing? Fucking photoshopped it, and you just put black bars over it to make it. It was technically redacted because you can't read it, but it just mimics actual physical embodied redaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know this was a thing, David. I'm learning about the layers of security to my super open and fair, most honest and free, never election stolen, no interference.
Well, now I feel the need to go through all these old redacted files and see if they have done this before, because this is the first time I'm hearing about this. And
there's no fucking way that this is the first time.
Well, quite frankly, it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious, indeed.
I don't know. I'm guessing it happened maybe on accident. Like, why were they copying and pasting the file? I don't think they did it to crack the code, or I think they just did it. Maybe they were like making a file or something, and it came up. But now it's being reported that there was a data set of the Epstein files that showed a victim had stated. Victim statement, just to be clear, if we could do all the legal mumbo jumbo, but this isn't, Ryan, this does not prove guilt, of course. This would have to be proved in a court of law. It certainly would help if the victim could bring this to the court of law, but they committed suicide conveniently.
Even though their dad said that she would never, because she was going to fight for all the other victims that wouldn't speak out.
I think this is somebody else, but yes, and everybody also, including the police, were very surprised about the suicide, and they did not believe it was a suicide. But of course, that doesn't mean anything, right? That showed Trump and Epstein, of course, were raping girls. And it has something to do with a limo driver as well, perhaps overhearing in the back. It's kind of crazy. Blank. I love these. Let me put this up, Ryan. This must be the physical redactions, of course. Blank asked Blank about his time driving a limousine for 2 years in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. During Blank time as a driver, he had met Donald Trump. Blank noted he picked the president up in 1995 and took him to the DFW airport. Blank reported some of the things President Trump had spoken about during the ride while on his cell phone were very concerning. Blank reported he was a few seconds from pulling the limousine over on the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. As caller chose not to. I don't know what that means. Blank noted Trump continuously stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone and made references to, quote, abusing some girls. Blank was unsure who he was talking to, nor who he was referencing. As Blank talked about his time meeting Donald Trump, Blank demeanor went, quote, stone cold, as Blank stated he raped me. I'm presuming is the victim. Blank said, what? As Blank replied, Donald J. Trump had raped her along with Jeffrey Epstein. Blank noted some girl with a funny name, I'm assuming Ghislaine Maxwell, quote it, took me into a fancy hotel or building. That's how it happened. Blank advised Blank to call the police regarding the incident. As Blank stated, I can't, they will kill me. On Christmas Day, Blank contacted Blank, stated she had in fact called the police about what they had talked about. Blank told Blank she had done good. Blank did not hear from Blank or Blank until 1/10/2000. So on Christmas, they contact the police. Several weeks later, they finally hear about it. Blank reached out to Blank, stating Blank was dead and noted she was found with her head blown off in Kiefer. Officers on the scene and Blank stated there was no way it was a suicide. Coroner stated it was a suicide. Blank later stated Blank committed suicide because Blank had gotten cocaine from a Mexican drug cartel. Blank feels the murder is a cover-up for Ghislaine.
So like they basically rape somebody and we just can't figure out how.
Well, she can't tell anymore. So my understanding of this is told through the limo driver who was talking to the girl. I don't know how the girl and the limo driver knew each other. I don't think it's super clear there, or I missed it. Yeah, it's all very weird. It's all very weird.
Excuse me. It's gross.
I don't really know what to say to that, right?
I mean, do we not think that Trump fucked kids?
I was doing my pretty standard open to it possibility, right? You know, I wasn't necessarily gonna say he definitely did, but you know, I was ready for the possibility of it.
If Trump didn't fuck kids, he would have released this sooner. That's what I think.
So I kind of understood the logic trail of both sides of this, because what the people on the right said was, and I had the rebuttal for this, and as well as other people, I'm not like taking full credit on this, but what people on the right were saying was, well, if there was stuff implicating Trump, then the Democrats would have released it forever ago, which would be logical if the Democrats weren't also implemented in all these crimes. So they're not going to hurt themselves to hurt Donald Trump. They would just find other ways to hurt Donald Trump, maybe physically even. So that logic trail to me never made sense. Well, Democrats would have released it. No, they wouldn't have, because Bill Clinton's all over the fucking thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And many others, I'm sure. But that's the most prominent one for sure. But him and Bill were good friends, of course, Ryan, as he explained the other day. Unlike him and that scumbag Thomas Massie, who voted to release the files that Trump ran on releasing, that Trump signed. And then complained about it, I guess. That made a lot of sense.
I wouldn't have thought he fucked kids until I just seen all the rebuttals and the failures and the day one on my desk. And
well, that's what I said.
I wonder if he just like runs around and sees what is trending basically, and then runs with it, and doesn't actually think if it's going to stick around. Like Trump, we actually care if you're fucking kids.
Well, yeah, no, well, and that's partly the problem with like this.
You guys want us to care about taxes, but you're fucking kids.
Well,
or who's like right?
Well, no, yeah. Well, that's what's wrong with like the populist nationalist, right? Because populism. What does that mean? That means what you just described. Like we're gonna just go off the hot topic of the day, and that's gonna be my thing I run on, and it makes you fluent. It makes you liquid. Your water. You don't really stand for any actual like policies. It's why a guy can be Trump and be building big buildings in New York City and donate to the Democrats because he's in New York City and it helped him get things done or whatever. But then he can just turn around and donate to Republicans or run as a Republican, or he could be pro-choice most of his life and then decide he's pro-life because he's kind of just doing one of these. Now, that doesn't mean Trump always took the easiest path or the easiest route, but it does mean he can be swayed very easily. It's how a guy like Trump ends up with a Dr. Fauci for so long. It's how he got suckered into COVID. It's how he was running around talking about all this immigration and securing the borders, and then ultimately, I would argue falling flat on that. I know a lot of people think we're making great headway on that, but I don't necessarily see it. The border's more secure than it used to be, but the deportations aren't what they should be. It's how a guy like Trump runs on anything and just caves and doesn't provide. But if you have a guy like Thomas Massie who's just standing his ground, like, dude, listen, we've been talking about releasing the Epstein files and now we have the power to do it, and now we're going to bitch out? Like, absolutely not. He's working with the Democrats. It's like, no, he's not working with the Democrats. He's doing what he said he was always going to do. Now, the Democrats came to him on this because it was convenient politically, of course. Because we have a bunch of new wave Democrats in at this point. I mean, AOC is not going to be in the Epstein files. Some more came out from the Epstein files too, though. Now, Ryan, what have we and many others always said about Epstein is it seems, if you're following this logically, it seems that Epstein had ties to intelligence agencies, because to me personally, it never made sense that he was just a rich guy off the street who decided he wanted to keep meticulously good records and videos and, keep everything well documented for his own fun and games. So to me,
you don't think he was diddling himself behind the scenes of those videos, David?
He might have been, but I don't think that's why he was keeping videos. No, I think he was keeping good documents because he was instructed to keep everything documented. I think everything it was wired up for cameras because he was told to have cameras. I think the whole thing was a giant sting operation to blackmail and take down big, heavy names in the industry, whether that be political or financial or whatever. All my banker friends, All these people were tied into this, and they were all tied into it on purpose. And it's all the same. And don't get me wrong, this is completely all on them. I'm not saying they were coerced into it and like they would have never done this. I'm saying they're scumbags. The intelligence agencies know all these people are scumbags, and they knew it was going to be a good way to get information and dirt out of them, or to get them to play ball or do things that they wouldn't have normally done. Now, this comes from Jack Posobiec. The latest Epstein file drops are bombshells. As Benz laid out, I presume Mike Benz, Epstein personally negotiated contracts for Southern Air Transport, the CIA's Iran-Contra gun running airline, and relocated its ops from Miami to Columbus, Ohio, military base to service his companies. This links straight to his Bear Stearns era clearing trades for BCCI, CIA's money laundering hub for Brits, Saudis, Israelis, and handling. I'm not super good at pronouncing this. Adnan Khashoggi, I believe. Khashoggi's arm dealing cash. No coincidence Epstein was intelligence asset shielded by the deep state. Jack Posobiec's a very pro-Israel guy, though, so he did kind of softball that.
I stand with Israel. I mean, what do you say? I told you guys, you don't even need the other stuff. Just go after the contractors. That guy, like the guy that built the building, they could get you in there. You could figure out who really did it at what time, under what contract, and where the bill came from. And
is anyone surprised? I'm sure there are people out there who are surprised, but like people like us, are they like?
Do we care that they fuck kids though? Is really like the genuine population just like, yeah, they fuck kids, so what?
Well, I certainly hope people know where they stand on that, because that to me would be a that's a pretty thick line in the stand for me. Is there anything else that, like, I know I said this many times, but like, is there anything?
We can't stand up for God because God's dead. Like, the least we can do is fight for the children. Not for the elderly. It's not for the elderly, because fuck the elderly.
Yeah. I don't. There's nothing else that matters. But back to my main. Jeff's a woman. I don't know about that. Jeff Epstein. Jeff Epstein's a woman.
Jeffrey Epstein's a woman.
Are we doing the? Are we doing the Macron? Is this the reverse? Epstein's a female.
Ghislaine's a man.
Ghislaine's a man. It's conspiracy no one saw coming.
She's pegging him.
Well, that I wouldn't be super surprised. I don't know. Like, I guess back to my original question though, are there people like us who have been talking about this, who were like, when you finally saw it, like, whoa. Like, I kind of had a feeling, but like, damn. Like, all
like, it's like that.
Yeah, like all the pieces were there. It all kind of made sense. I know a lot of people were waiting for the facts. That's fine. Whatever. I'll forgive you on this. But like we were there already, and then we see things come out a little bit at a time, and it's like, yeah, that kind of points to the thing we thought. Oh, that kind of points to the thing we already thought. Like, sometimes you get a feeling on something, and you know, I got a good feeling on a lot of things. I think I have a pretty decent ability to read into things and follow logic trails and all this. And I feel like I can get there on most things, but like, I can't really declare it as fact, right? Because the facts aren't there. So this is the people are waiting for the facts crowd. they like to wait for the facts to come out, and then they're right, and they know they're right, and that's fine. That's probably even technically the right way to do it, right? But I'm going to just go out there and say, like, this kind of is what this seems like to me, and we'll wait and see. And, when it does come out, then it's like, okay, we thought so. We waited and saw. Now here we are.
Cassandra Complex.
What is this called?
The Cassandra Complex.
Is this the, you talked about this already. Was this an,
Greek mythology that a woman was...
I almost said Egyptian. Yes.
Yeah, she was gifted the gift of foresight, but nobody would believe her. And she would see things coming and tell people, and they'd say she's crazy. Then it would happen, and then they'd be mad at her
because they thought she was like the catalyst for the thing that happened, when really she was just predicting the thing that would happen.
But yeah, she had the gift of foresight.
Like I said, I feel like we're kind of halfway there. I don't know if people are mad at us about this, but I didn't make Epstein be an intelligence agent, just for the record. We just kind of thought that was the case.
I just wish the guy could stand trial so he can know all this by asking him.
Well, surely, Ryan, that was the plan. But damn it, he just had to go out. I know the poor guy. He's just really up against it. He was on suicide watch, and those damn guards they fell asleep, and the fucking wouldn't the cameras failed, and he was a tall man, but not tall enough to he wasn't so tall that he couldn't hang himself from a bunk bed with a bed sheet. So, he was like just the right height, really. What is it like? What is it like to be the people who just kind of blindly follow all this stuff? Like when you,
I don't know, dude. That's a 5-year gaslight right there.
Like, what was it? What's it like?
That's a lot of mental power and programming and brainwash and education and history to untangle in real time and be like, no, I'm choosing to not believe no liars.
What is it like though to go through the world and then just hear a media report and then immediately be like, oh, this is the information, this is the fact, and move on with your life? Like, oh, Epstein hung himself from a bunk bed. Damn, that's crazy. Anyways, what else is on the news today? It's like, I just can't. There's a part of me, and it's built into me, and Ryan, I feel like it's built into you as well. But it's like, I can't resist when I hear something. I can't wait. I pause immediately after hearing something and start trying to debunk it right out of the gate for whatever reason. You tell me it's chocolate cake, and I'm like, I don't know. It kind of looks like vanilla. If it was chocolate, maybe they didn't use the right amount of cocoa powder. I'm just right out of the gate skeptical of the thing you just told me. In almost all cases.
The more you tell me about it, the less likely I am to believe it.
That's true too. There's definitely something to that. The more you're insisting, if you show me a very clearly white cake and you're like, it's chocolate cake, and I'm like, there's no way. It's it's literally white. Well, we used food coloring. You used white food coloring and chocolate to make it look white. What would even be the point of that? And we're like, well, it's just a creative touch that we put on the cake, but we really wanted it to look white, but we wanted it to taste chocolate. I'm like, I'd be like, this doesn't make, you're covering it anyway with fraud. None of this makes sense to me. But the guy, 10 people around me are like, oh, the fuck, that's chocolate cake? That's crazy. What world are we in? How are you not questioning shit the second you hear it all the time, every time? That.
This is that experiment of people that you introduce them into a room and they just start standing up, so you start standing up naturally.
Was this the buzzer or something? There's a sound.
Yes.
The sound.
Yes.
Okay, so the sound. Was it the first group was instructed when you hear a bell, stand, right?
It was just one person. It wasn't even a group. And one guy would just stand up. And then when people would come in and sit down, this guy would be standing every time the light lit up or whatever.
Yeah,
and they would mimic it.
And then the people would be like, what the fuck? And then they'd see more and more people would come in and just stand with the guy when the bell, because they'd see him do it a few times. They're like, oh, you must have to stand when the bell goes off. And they didn't even question it. They're like, fucking, you got to stand when the bell goes off. And they just fucking, no, sit the fuck down. Why are you standing? You don't even know why you're standing.
Oh, they know why they're standing, David. Those that stand for nothing will fall for everything, David.
I just don't get it. I just don't get how you can just hear something and then just immediately accept it at face value, like right out of the gate.
Really good parents, ignorance, low IQ. The fact that 99.99% of us will be Nazi camp concentration guards.
I don't even want to try to make this claim because I don't want it to sound like egotistical or arrogant or anything. But like, are we 0.01 people? Like when it
Yes.
like you over there direct them into the car, and like most people are like, okay, the boss told me to direct them into the car, right? And I think part of this we've talked about this before, but part of the reason that happens is because there's such compartmentalization. So like some of the Nazis just put them on the car, right? And they're like, okay, well, we're just transporting them or whatever, right? Like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, put them on the car, sure, go on the car. And then some of them like brought them into the building, like, yeah, go into this building, right? And then some of them like pulled the lever, and it's like, dude, it's possible that some people, I don't think this is the case. I think they were all very aware of what was happening, but it's possible that you could compartmentalize it in a way that some people don't even know that they're doing anything wrong or complicit in a crime. But like, this is how it happens though, because it's like someone told me to put you on the car and direct you into the building, and no one said fucking for what. Like, are these criminals? Are they war criminals? Are they prisoners of war? Like, what should we be doing?
Oh, they're just women and children, David, clearly.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's even more suspicious, isn't it? Really, we captured they're prisoners of war. They're war criminals. They're fucking women and children. Like, I don't know. Was
In
anybody
1940.
there?
In 1940,
Like,
women and children.
when women and children doing what women and children were supposed to do. Not now. Like,
not boss babe, women and children. I could a train cart full of women in 2025 would be like, carry on.
I'd love to think. I don't want to like make it sound like I'm humanizing Nazis or whatever, but like, because I know this is how this is going to get taken.
David.
Well, I know this is, but I just don't want it. I know how it's going to get taken, but at the same time, like, I'd love to think that some of them, while they may have been too cowardice to actually stand up because they knew what would have happened to them or their family, and I get it, but I would love to think that at least some of them or most of them, while maybe being too cowardice, were at least still they still knew they were doing wrong. Like, I hope a lot of them couldn't sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like, I hope a lot of them understood, like, fuck, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like, how did I get myself into this? How the fuck do I get myself out of this? I would love to think that was the case. I hope that's the case. I hope not all of them.
Do you think like child molesters and shit feel bad, David? The murderers?
I mean, probably not, right? Maybe they
people,
do. I don't know. Maybe
you
do.
also got to think those people, like, we've talked about the psychology of war a bit, but like, if you're justified in your fight, you don't think you're doing anything wrong. If it was me, the Germans versus the Italians, or Germans versus the English, like, they're trying to come for our way of life and my children and my countrymen and me, ego driven.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
maybe they didn't have PTSD the same. Maybe they didn't, like, to them, they felt justified in grabbing it because they were still conquerors as men.
Yeah, well, this is also still part of what's dangerous about just playing teams, right? Because you're like going to do anything for your team to win. Like, well, we gotta win because all these people, not just the Jews, but like, Europe and America and all these people attacked us after World War I. They all destroyed us. Let's not forget why we're doing this. And maybe some of them tried to like justify it, or maybe it was justified to some of them in such a way. But I don't know. I really would hope they weren't all just like, yeah, this is fine. Because that really, if that's the case, it bothers me either way, obviously. But if that's the case, that really fucking bothers me. That many people, when Jordan Peterson says 99.9% of people would be Nazi concentration camp guards, there's like levels to it, right? Like, it would really bother me if all of them were like, fuck them, and had no heart, no soul, no anything. It would bother me if they did it, knew it was wrong, but were cowardly. That bothers me also, but not quite as much as if they were all just completely on board with this idea. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope I know how that's going to get taken, but to be clear, because
Yeah,
you
you'd
must be
almost like to
clear
think
about the
that most people
Holocaust.
aren't that extreme.
Sure. But again, just to be super extra clear about this, because I know people are with the Holocaust, I get it. Nobody
It's a
here was
conspiracy,
okay
David.
with it. Just to be
Clearly
clear,
a conspiracy.
it wasn't good. It's a bad thing. It was evil. Just so we're very, very crystal clear about this. But I'm just making points that there are different levels of how evil it would have been. It would have been the most evil if everybody was unilaterally all for it, celebrating it, God forbid. But I would just love to think there was like a couple guys who were just a little too cowardly to do anything about it, but fucking couldn't sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to think that was some of them at least. Just like I would love to think there were people who authorized dropping the A-bomb who were like, fuck, man, a lot of people are going to die. And you could try to justify it. Maybe it saves lives in the long run. Maybe you do math and you think this is the best path forward. I know you can try to justify it. But I'd love to think like most of them still knew what they were doing, because regardless of if it's the right move or whatever the math is on saving lives or whatever the math is on ending the war, like you still know at the back of your mind, like I'm murdering women and children. Like that still has to be a part of your psyche, I would think. I just hope they weren't all high-fiving. Fuck yeah, war's over, boys.
That's what's crazy to me, man. There's people that celebrate it, and I did to some degree until you get older and think about stuff. And
Like I said, I mean, listen, I'll hear the justifications. I've heard it
they're
100 times.
probably right, though,
It's
with it. I
probably
mean,
right.
the Japanese weren't gonna just give up. Man, it's
No, I
like,
didn't
well,
think
let's
so.
just fucking Godzilla them.
And
And
here's the thing: I've heard the historical argument. Well, they were about to give up. I don't think so. I've heard this argument. I've seen the documents. I don't think the Japanese were about to give up. And the math is probably there. It probably did end up saving lives in the long run. But again, like just don't just understand that it came at a price as well. Like it at least has to matter that innocent people died to do it.
crazy, we're at a point with war that there's like 1,000 or 10,000 civilian casualties instead of 100,000.
Oh, for sure.
That's what's really crazy.
For sure. Yeah, Ryan. What you got? You got any plans, Ryan?
For Christmas,
Yeah.
I might go to a Christmas party.
Where at? Well, don't disclose your exact location, Ryan.
It's a bar, restaurant, 4 floors of party, David. Now, I don't participate in all of the extracurriculars like I have used to or have never dabbled in, but there will be plenty. It will be an eclectic group of people. There's nothing else to do. Kidless, do Santa in the morning. She goes with her mom. So I'm kidless. I'm off all week. Fuck it. Run it live. New Year's is rookie night. I'd rather go out with Santa Claus. So, Dave, I see what you did there. Layup. I wanted to talk about 6-7, David. You're clearly missing the most important topic of this entire year. I've been trolling children, especially my daughter, about 6-7, and she shakes her head and says that it's embarrassing. And I looked at her the one time. I said, "If you think it's embarrassing, I do it. How do you think we feel as adults watching all you kids do it?" I'm just curious. I did it today in front of 2 older guys than me in their 50s and 60s, and they knew it. Like, things spread so quickly now. And what is it about human nature that makes kids and adults wanna bond over the same actions? It's like we never grow up or something. But I think it's very interesting. It's also like shows how powerful the if Dave was up his 48 laws of power, the power of suggestion, basically. But it's very interesting. The Bills are playing this weekend. Dave's not around to talk about that. But I was hoping that the Bills are in the playoffs. That's cool. But I don't know. I don't know where Dave is. Not that close the pot out.
I did not mean to abandon you.
Yeah, it's all right. You have to take a shit.
No.
Dude,
80-40.
6'7".
80-40? The fuck did I miss? Why is Get a Rope commenting 80-40? And was the first guy who commented, was his username Jewlube?
Yes.
Come on, Jewlube?
A 6'7", David.
No, can't do this. 6'7"?
Come on.
Dude, it's too many adults.
6'7". Yes, this is the whole point of it.
Okay, good. Yeah, kids, dude, whatever. Like, I get it. Kids do kid shit. Why are adults doing this?
Because it's fun.
It's weird.
We're trolling the kids because the kids are trolling us.
In that context, I'm on board. But I mean, like, I've seen adults use it unironically. Full-grown adults.
I do the 6'7" at work when we like measuring something 6 or 7 inch, 6'7", and we all giggle. We giggle like fucking 5-year-olds.
Damn it! I'm not.
There's a handshake, David. This isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Well, I'm just saying, it's fun to troll kids. It's also what I said was
there's no kids around. You're not trolling them. You're just doing it.
My daughter hates when I do it to her.
That's fine. If you're doing it to annoy your daughter, I understand.
David, she told me that it's embarrassing when I do it in public, and I told her, I said, "Kid,
it's embarrassing when everybody does it. Anybody."
That's what I told her. I said, "Don't."
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm doing it, is to show you how
That's
you
stupid.
look when you do it.
100%.
She's just like super embarrassed, dude. She's at like the embarrassing stage. But I tried telling her that it's like, because that's how you guys look. She's like, "No, we're kids. You are an old man." And
she's borderline right about that, though.
What?
It is more ridiculous when adults do it.
It is more ridiculous when adults do it.
She is kind of right, actually. I will give her credit on that.
Yeah, the problem with the kid, dude, is if she's any lane, like, it don't matter if it's 5% out of 100 that she's correct. She's running 5% at everything. Even if I strip away everything else, like, well, this is still true. Like, yeah. You know,
that checks out. But is the username really Jewloop? Pretty crazy. That's crazy shit. You're right. I think I lost you. I have lost Ryan. I don't know where he went. But anyways, if he's doing 6'7", I think we've lost him anyway. He's too far gone. There's no saving him. While we wait for Ryan to come back, I think we could play Matt Gaetz clip. Matt Gaetz was he did a long sit down with Tucker Carlson, as people do with Tucker Carlson, and he was talking about a little bit related to this underage girl scandal that seemed to be surrounding him, and it's kind of interesting where it stems from, and kind of, if anyone else noticed, it kind of seemed to just go away.
Moment was when my father, who's a prominent person in our community, got outreach from someone he had never met that said that there were pictures and images of me with underage prostitutes, and my dad needed to meet with these people right away. And so my dad, somewhat surprised and concerned, goes and talks to these people and says, "What in the world are you talking about?" And they said, "Well, Mr. Gaetz, we need $25 million from you to go and rescue a spy that is being held in Iran. And if you do that, we can make these things about your son go away," which was crazy and wild. We did what any reasonable people would do. We went to the FBI and said that we were being extorted by these folks with their false claims. And we later learned that this consulate official working for the Israeli government was sending text messages to Scott Adams, of all people, the Dilbert cartoonist, saying they were expecting my father to furnish this $25 million payment, and that would be evidence of my consciousness of guilt.
For the American FBI agent grabbed on an Iranian island maybe 18 or 19 years ago.
And I don't know anything about this person. I don't know if the person's dead or alive, but it was troubling and concerning to me that someone who was getting paid by the Israeli government was involved in a criminal shakedown of a U.S. congressman. And someone went to jail for this. The person who conveyed this message to my father pled guilty to the attempted fraud. And surprisingly, there was never really an effort to figure out what the government of Israel's involvement was in this matter.
But you know that the government of Israel was involved because this was an Israeli government official who was involved in this?
Yes. A person who, his name's Jake Novak. I think he currently works for Real America's Voice. And he sent text messages.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the name of the official. And he sent messages to Scott Adams saying that he was involved in this scheme that was later deemed a criminal scheme to shake down my family.
So what
based on
happened
these
to
false
him?
allegations? He got a television show.
Come on now. I didn't know any of this. I'm not playing dumb. I really didn't know that. Have you ever talked to him about it?
I have attempted to figure out, because obviously I still have a lot of unanswered questions about why he was working for a foreign government and trying to shake down my family.
Well, what's the answer, do you think?
Well, some have shared with me their concern that this was a consequence of some of the votes and positions I took in the Congress. I represented one of the most military-heavy districts in the entire country.
I think number one.
Yeah, right up there. And I saw these wars in the Middle East that my neighbors and friends had fought in as unworthy of our best, unworthy of the disruptions in parenting and the divorces and the injuries,
suicides. Yeah.
And so I took the position that we should be less entangled in these things. And I think that really shocked a number of people who thought I would be more of a neocon coming from the district I came from. And I think that, that with like the Israel influence operation, it's always fire and ice. It's always outreach followed by consequence, and then outreach, and then consequence. Even to this day, there was someone who just appeared and offered to pay me a bunch of money to go to Israel and give a bunch of speeches. And, you decline those offers when you don't feel they're appropriate. And then lo and behold, it's like Greenblatt on the other side of the operation calling you an anti-Semite.
This just...
I don't know how much evidence everybody needs. I really don't. But it's fine. It's fine. Brian's phone died. That's apparently what happened. I was worried that that they have gotten to him, but it was just simple. His phone died. And he has requested that I close out the show since he has no ability to charge it. He needs a studio. He needs a studio with a producer that can handle everything so he doesn't worry about his phone dying in his car. With that said, it is as we started the show out, letting everyone know, it is the last episode of the year. We will be back for the new year, prepared and ready, doing the things we've been doing. Could be another year of vice presidential nominees coming on. It could be another year of people in the know coming on. We've had people who run the polls and in political, campaigns, and we've had people who come on who are deeply into all the cryptocurrency stuff and high up in certain things. And we've had a lot of people from a lot of different realms on the show in the past, and maybe we're going to have another year like that. As the year closes out, very, very close to 100,000 people have watched the show on Rumble alone. That does not include YouTube. That does not include X. It doesn't include any other place, Facebook or Twitch or Kick or any of this stuff. So just on Rumble, 100,000 people. When you think about it, that's a very full NFL stadium. So it's very cool. We super appreciate it. We love getting the chats. I will always chat back once we get the chats. I mean, I might not interrupt Ryan in the middle of a sentence to do a chat, but I will definitely try to get to all the chats when they do come in. Even if they are just saying that Jeff's a woman from Jew Lube, or if it's 80-40 from Get a Rope, or if it's our Canadian princess, Mandy. We, like I said, we're super appreciative of all the people who watch, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. And I say Merry Christmas because that's what I celebrate. I celebrate Christmas. And if you were to come up to me in the street and you're Jewish and you would tell me Happy Hanukkah, I would not complain. I would say thank you, and I'd say Merry Christmas back. If you came up to me on the street and you said Happy Kwanzaa, I would think you're trolling. I don't think anybody actually celebrates Kwanzaa. I don't think it's even real. But it's going to be a good year. Everyone's going to have a good New Year. Merry Christmas. Like I said, I'm super excited to see what the future may hold here. I mean, like I said, we've done a lot of things, and I'm excited for everything we've done. I said on yesterday's show, I think we'll always stand true to what we believe, regardless of anything else. Not afraid to take the heat. Don't really care. Merry Christmas. Get a Rope says Merry Christmas. I pegged you as a Kwanzaa man, to be honest. Yeah, really appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, I won't stop you, but I will tell you that Rumble is really the only real place, because if you're watching us on YouTube, there's no stating. You never know. Like, YouTube could pull our channel down because of medical misinformation if they've done in the past. They could pull our channel down because we interfered in foreign elections with New Zealand for that super hot prime minister they had. They could tell us any number of things. It's hate speech violations, right? Just could be a strike. It could be a ban. They could take the channel down. They could take the videos down. They could take the stream down live. They could tell you it's copyright. They could do all types of stuff. And all these things I fully expect from YouTube, and I fully expect them from Facebook, and I honestly expect them a little bit from X even. Elon Musk, I don't think we're as clear on the free speech thing as you think we are. But Rumble has proven to be 100% standing by free speech, and they will go to war for you, with you. They're the real deal. So I think when you find things like that, I think you need to support them. If you really actually believe in the things that we believe, whether it be free speech or, any of the other God-given rights that you may have, Rumble actually believes in the same things that we believe. And the platform itself, I'm talking like electronically, the actual software, the hardware, the servers, it's all getting better. It's all improving. And, for a while, if you didn't want to come to Rumble because you like the YouTube app better, I kind of get it. But honestly, the Rumble app now it's really, really good. On YouTube, how you must pay to be premium to do something simple like listen to a podcast after you turn your phone off. Rumble, you can just do it. You just turn it on. You don't have to pay for anything. Now you can go to Rumble Premium. Highly recommend you subscribe. But you can just go on for free as a free Rumble user. Put on any show you want, turn it off, and just listen to the audio. Rumble really is, and that's a very small thing, but it is an annoying thing on the YouTube end. Like, you really need to charge me to just do something simple like that. But Rumble really does have it figured out. And not only do they have our backs, but the program is getting better. Everything is getting better. The programming is getting better. They have a very popular lineup. It's the lineup. They literally called it the lineup. You can get Crowder and Tim Pool and the Quartering and all these people. And that's where I want to be. So if you're ever on YouTube and you see our stuff's not there, one of two things happened. We quit doing it, which is unlikely, or YouTube took it down. So go over to Rumble, December 1773, or The Weekly Show, and you'll find us. You'll find us there. Unlike Ryan, who can't find, he's subscribed on YouTube to our channel and can't find our channel. So however you people are finding our channel, it's actually very impressive. Long-winded way of saying that we really appreciate what Rumble does for us. And we appreciate what you do for us, for coming on and watching. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for a new year. But in the meantime, everyone go do the things you do on Christmas, whether it be hang out with family or overeat or both. New Year's, get super sloshed up and, watch the ball drop for some reason. It's a really weird tradition. And I look forward to seeing you in 2026. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope we keep getting to see you in the chats, and I hope you keep getting to see us. And if you prefer YouTube, I hope you get to keep seeing us on YouTube. But I'm just warning you, it's not going to be there forever, especially that the midterms are coming. It's going to get a little more intense. So thanks everyone. We'll see you in 2026.